Victoria Justice, Big Time Rush, Drake Bell, Miranda Cosgrove, the Naked Brothers Band. All successful.
So the Naked Brothers Band, I'm gonna be honest with you, they fell off really hard. Ariana Grande's mid, we all know that. Naked Brothers Band is definitely Tarkov streamers. Drake Bell's popular in Mexico. Mariah Carey, wait. Translating. Mary had a little lamb. What's her name? Miranda Cosgrove. I feel like she's always been good.
Nickelodeon stars for sure. But besides Ariana, all of them had very minor success in their music careers. I mean, compared to Disney, who at the time were creating massive pop stars. We talked about Disney's highly calculated approach to making these actors superstars, but Nickelodeon fumbled huge opportunities. These two networks were peaking from 2000 to 2012. They had wildly successful TV shows and extremely talented acts.
You're gonna hate me for this. I never watched Disney Channel. I always thought it was shit. I'm sorry I did. Maybe it's because my humor was more edgy and I liked like the Naked or Big Time Rush or shit. I could not watch Hannah Montana for the life of me. I never watched Wizards of Waverly Place. I didn't know what the fuck that was. I never watched Finn and Eric Awesome Show or whatever the hell it was. I never watched any of those shows. Didn't give a shit. Didn't think Disney Channel was good. I thought it was garbage. Sorry.
For 19 years straight, Nickelodeon had higher yearly viewership than the Disney Channel.
Oh, yeah.
They pursued a similar strategy when it came to casting talent and then releasing music with them. But they had minor Billboard success, and none of them even had a platinum record. Besides Ariana Grande, who is the fourth most streamed artist in history, has over
Drake.
70 platinum certifications and is on her way to becoming one of the top female artists of all time. And she wasn't even the star of the show on Nickelodeon. My name is Patrick CC. Today we're going to find out how Nickelodeon catastrophically missed on every one of their talents, but also somehow created the biggest talent of them all at the same time. Drink water while you're watching this video. This is definitely a picture of me in the mirror telling you that this video is sponsored by Manscaped. And oh boy, Christmas came
Manscaped
early this year because I just got gifted the new Performance Package
Genuinely, Manscaped's a good product.
by Manscaped. They created the world's first all-in-one
Whenever I'm shaving my pubes, I'm also eating my HelloFresh.
men's grooming kit that has you covered from head to toe. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a waterproof, cordless trimmer built with advanced skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks and cuts
While
on your
playing
most
Raid Shadow
sensitive
Legends on my
areas.
mobile
I
phone.
can't recommend them enough, and do you think a guy as clean as me would mislead you? Plus, you'll also get 2 free gifts when you order. So don't wait. Go to manscaped.com and use my promo code PatrickCC to get 20% off plus free international shipping. Thanks, Manscaped. I feel like I should mention that Nickelodeon is not the sole reason why these artists are successful or unsuccessful. But for the most part, if it wasn't for their roles on these various shows and movies, we wouldn't be talking about them here today. In 1979, Nickelodeon aired its first show. In 1993, Nickelodeon Records was founded. They started the label to release music, soundtrack, and original works from the artists or characters on their shows. The network struggled to become profitable in the 80s. They were losing millions of dollars per year. One year, they were actually the lowest viewed network out of all the US cable channels. They were more concerned with getting viewership than selling music. After all, if nobody's watching the TV shows, then how could the music be successful? But in the early 90s came popular animated shows like Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was the most popular cable TV show in 1992, which led to their first...
Couldn't watch this. I don't know how anyone could watch this shit as a kid. It was terrifying to me. I couldn't watch it. It's too scary. This dude had fucking double pink-eyed bunny bullshit. He was too much. I was terrified for my life when I would watch the show.
Official Nickelodeon Records release, You Idiot by
I could not watch the show without my mom being in the kitchen.
Ren and Stimpy. This was a 20-song album that acted as a soundtrack consisting of popular songs from the series. As you can imagine, this wasn't very successful of an album because who the fuck is going to listen to this? But for some reason, they released 2 more and only 5 more soundtracks for the rest of the 90s. None of them really did anything. The first time we saw any sitcom or non-animated show related to music was in 2001 with a show called Taina. I didn't even know about this show. It aired for less than 1 year. But before doing research, I thought that Lizzie McGuire and the Cheetah Girls, both Disney Channel shows, were the first examples of either of these networks pursuing music with one of their stars. But it turns out that Nickelodeon actually started this trend. Taina was a show about a high school girl who wanted to become a pop star. She attends the Manhattan High School of Performing Arts and every episode features Taina daydreaming of eventual superstardom and occasionally performing a new song, which is basically the same exact plot as Victorious. They even released an album to complement the show in February of 2001, which was 6 months before the first Lizzie McGuire soundtrack. So the perfect formula that I praised Disney for in my last video was actually started by Nickelodeon. The formula is very simple. Find a young talent, cast them for a show, throughout the episodes make it clear that this character is a musical artist, then release an album under their name and capitalize on the millions of people who watch the show and associate the character with the music.
We should do that with OTK. We find a talent who's a young star talent who could sing, we capitalize them, and we make them stream, then they start realizing stream is way more money, then they start streaming more, we lose them.
Taina walked so Lizzie, the Cheetah Girls, Miley, Selena, Demi, and all of them could run. Obviously, Taina as a show, as well as her album, were very unsuccessful, which is why they canceled it and didn't try again. But after Taina's short run, we had the Romeo show in 2003.
Hey, yo, watch them go. It's time for the Romeo show. Have the Romeo go.
Romeo was the star of a sitcom that was basically about his real life as a kid rapper with a famous rap star as a father. Nickelodeon
Didn't this dude fall off hard, or he said some shit like 2 years ago or something? Like, I don't remember what the fuck happened to him, but he was really like the king of the crop. Like, he was the man in 2004 or whatever the fuck. But he said some stupid ass shit, and he's completely irrelevant now.
Records never did an official release with him, most likely because he was already a famous rapper, even at the age of 12. In 2001, Romeo had a single titled My Baby reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. His debut album went gold and had a run of Billboard charting singles for a couple of years. So Nickelodeon didn't scout him as a random kid and transform him into a star. They just made a show about somebody who was already famous. I actually think Nick hurt his music career because the most musical success he had was before season 1 of The Romeo Show. Luckily, this led to him having a 20-year acting career. I'm assuming Nick never did a music release with Romeo because of his father, Master P. Master P is known for being one of the first rappers to have independent success in the 90s and 2000s when it was borderline impossible to have a musical career without a major label. He's a mogul known for never giving up ownership of his music and remaining independent. So I'm sure Master P negotiated a really fruitful deal with Nickelodeon. Probably borderline finessed them into making him and his family more famous. In 2004, Drake and Josh aired on Nickelodeon, became a huge hit. In the show, Drake Bell was essentially the cool guy ladies man who played the guitar and was the frontman of his own band. Plus, he performed the intro song, which was another common practice for Nickelodeon and Disney to have the star actor perform the intro song. Nick Records released the soundtrack to the show in 2005 after season 2. Probably a little too late. Shoulda did it after season 1. It charted number 178 on the Billboard Hot 200, but only sold 1,200 copies first week. The only two songs that had minor success were obviously the intro song and Soul Man, which was performed by both of them in the show. Again, for some reason, Nick didn't pursue Drake as a musical artist. Maybe they thought he sucked. Because during the time he released an independent album called Telegraph, and in 2006 signed with Motown Records to do his second album, It's Only Time. I feel like Nickelodeon missed out big time with Drake Bell. He was absolutely huge at this point.
Or maybe they thought he sucked.
Every kid in America thought he was the coolest guy ever. He won 3 Kids' Choice Awards for Favorite Actor, and why they didn't try to organize a record deal with him, I don't know. His only popular songs are the ones that he performed on the show. Isn't that an obvious sign? Give him a deal and have him perform the songs in the episodes. Exactly what Disney was doing. Drake didn't really end up the way we thought he would though, so I guess it doesn't matter. But Drake and Josh did lead us to Miranda Cosgrove with iCarly, which had a lot more success. But before we talk about iCarly, we have to talk about Nick's most successful music act at this point, the Naked Brothers Band, who have a really strange story. The Naked Brothers Band started out as an independent film about Nat and Alex Wolf, real-life brothers. Their father, Michael Wolf, was a professional musician, and their mother, Polly Draper,
hated the show. Hated the show. It would come on, I'm like, maybe it's because they were like a little younger than me and I'd bully these kids, but I hated this show, dude. Couldn't watch it for a second. Thought it was so garbage.
A successful actress. While recording their very first song, their mother came up with the idea to make a mock documentary about them as if they were a massively successful band. She intended on it being an independent family project. The film had many celebrities who were friends with the boys' parents, including, but not limited to, Cyndi Lauper, Julianne Moore, Ann Curry, Uma Thurman, and Arsenio Hall. On October 23, 2005, Draper and Wolf entered the film at the Hamptons International Film Festival, where it won the Audience Award for Family Feature Film. The former president of Nickelodeon, Albie Heck, happened to be at this film festival. He ended up bringing the film to Nickelodeon and suggested that it be adapted into a TV series. They started producing the show in January 2007. The Naked Brothers Band, the movie, aired on Nickelodeon, followed by the first season of the series in the next month. The series would see 3 seasons, each being accompanied by a soundtrack album. The Naked Brothers Band first album in 2007 would debut at number 23 on the Billboard Hot 200. I Don't Want to Go to School would also reach number 23 on the Billboard Hot 200, making the Naked Brothers Band the most successful talent that Nick Records has seen up until this point.
I did not know that they were that successful. They were number 23. Jesus Christ. Damn, man. Maybe, like, as a streamer, like, maybe I'm just not using my talents enough. I'm just reacting to content and playing Mario. Maybe I need to, like, step it up. Maybe I need to do some kind of music. You know, maybe I need to find some talent.
iCarly premiered in September of 2007 to 4.1 million viewers. The hype was real. Miranda Cosgrove performed the intro to iCarly.
So question, chat. When they said 4.1 million viewers, does that mean 4.1 million people were watching at one time? Yes. So, yeah, I'm drunk. Yeah, okay. So I remember that this is how they calculated how many people were watching, chat. They used to have this thing, and I actually had it, and my family got paid to watch TV because we watched so much TV that we got paid to do it. I swear to God, it was called a Nelson box. And this Nelson box was essentially this thing that was attached to your TV and would account for like 600 views or something like that, because there's no real way for you to figure out how many people are watching a show. So they would use these Nelson boxes, and they would pretty much calculate based on what you watching, what other people are watching. It was called Nielsen. I have dyslexia.
I bought a mic from Radio Shack Omega Lol.
Dude, same. And so I had that, and I got paid to watch TV. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to flex.
Carly along with Drake Bell, but on the show she wasn't a musical artist. She was an internet star. She was kind of like the first YouTuber. After season 1, Nick would release the iCarly soundtrack. It would include performances by Miranda Cosgrove, the Naked Brothers Band, Good Charlotte, Sean Kingston, Avril Lavigne, and more. It reached number 28 on the Billboard Hot 200 and number 1 on the Billboard Kid Albums charts. The most successful soundtrack yet. So they had back-to-back success with the Naked Brothers Band and now Miranda. So you think, okay, let's sign Miranda and do exactly what we just did with Nat and Alex. No. They didn't sign Miranda, so she went off and signed a record deal with Columbia. She released the album Sparks Fly.
Really good album. Am I cringe? I love Sparks Fly. And when I'm kissing you, my senses come alive. It's a good song. Almost like my puzzle piece that I'm trying to sign. Crystal clear enough when I'm kissing you.
And that would peak at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 200, and
it was on my iPod Shuffle.
She had a single from the album go on to be certified gold. Nick, how did you fumble that? Cosgrove would also release 2 EPs with Columbia, About You Now and High Maintenance, which would reach number 34 on the Billboard Hot 200. Now again, these numbers don't hold a candle at all to the numbers that Disney was doing, but still, Nick had an opportunity here to capitalize. They realized that they needed to buckle down and figure out this music shit, because Disney Channel couldn't stop making platinum records, and Nick flopped with Taina, got finessed by Lil Romeo, totally ignored the potential of Drake Bell, and got their newest big star, Miranda Cosgrove, stolen by Columbia Records.
I really do feel like Miranda Cosgrove could have been like the biggest right now. I feel like she could have been as bigger than Ariana Grande. Like this, she was literally the one that was like, she was so huge, dude. I don't know, maybe she like didn't want it, but she could have been, man. She was a good singer, like a really good singer. So her album was one of the best albums I think I've heard when I was a kid. I loved her album. She's got crazy good range on her vocals, and I don't think people appreciate that a lot. She's fun.
Which brings us to Big Time Rush. Nickelodeon signed BTR to Nick Records and named the show after their band name. Promptly after signing, Nickelodeon would partner with Columbia Records to produce the show and the accompanied music. All of their music would be released jointly under Nickelodeon and Columbia Records. Finally, Nickelodeon realized the opportunities that they were missing out on, so they partnered with the experts, Columbia Records, to actually give their talent a decent chance for success.
Big Time Rush, if you're listening, join OTK and we'll make you famous.
And it paid off. Their debut
We're like the Nickelodeon of today.
single, Big Time Rush, would be released the same time as the first episode of the show in November of 2009. It also serves as the show's opening theme, so the band name, TV show, intro song, and the first single all had the same name. A little cringe and definitely try-hardish, but hey, they're doing something. Throughout season 1 of the show, promotional singles would be released as they were premiered in the coinciding episodes. Alright, they're starting to figure it out. Just a few weeks after the show got going, the first album would debut at number 3 on the
I always know there's a Ludwig viewer in chat when they say imagine.
Billboard Hot 200.
I've never said imagine anything, dude. Besides maybe Imagine Dragons. You can always know a Ludbuds in chat when they say imagine.
And number 1 on the soundtracks chart, selling 67,000 units in the first week. The song Big Night from the album would debut at number 79 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it their highest peaking song at
Wait. Kill Miranda Cosgrove, Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez. Oh. I would marry... That's so hard, dude. Wait. Give me a sec. Miranda Cosgrove, Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez. Bro, that's hard. I would probably say kill Selena Gomez. I would do Ariana Grande for the clout so I could just brag about it. And I would marry Miranda Cosgrove. I wouldn't date. I would marry her on the fucking spot. I'm sorry. She is a perfect human being. I absolutely do think she's great. Her vocals are amazing, and she's really fun to hang out with.
the time. The album would go on to be certified gold.
What? How is that a bad answer? Okay, who would you guys do? Who would you do? Marry and fuck Selena Gomez. So you would just you would just kill both and be like, come over here, Selena. Like, she's Asian, Mizkif. Bro, if you think I only like Asians, you're so stupid, dude. You're so dumb. The last girl I got with was...
gold. So things are working. Big Time Rush is on.
Wasn't a guy, you idiot. That was like, what, 3 months ago? You realize I'm 27, right? I get laid all the time. Like, chat, I'm a hunk. I have a sauna. I get laid a lot. Girls like me. Like, I'm an established streamer. I own a house. I have a car. I get laid. Yes. You know what? I'm going to sound racist when I say this, but I like women a lot. I like women a lot. And do I like men? No, I don't. I don't like men at all. I think men are pigs. Don't care for them. Never liked them. Never going to like them. Tried it. Didn't like it.
On their way. At the end of the first season, they introduced Victorious. Victoria Justice is the main character of the show, and the plot is about her life as a teenager attending the Hollywood Performing Arts Academy. Here's where she meets Ariana Grande, and they become friends. In the show, they often have to perform theatrics and, of course, singing. They created the show literally because of Hannah Montana. The show debuted to 5.7 million viewers. It was an instant hit. Now with BTR and Victoria Justice, we start to see this overlap happen. They're working on 2 musical acts at the same time, starting to take some notes from Disney. November 2010, the first song accompanying the show Victorious was a single called Freak the Freak Out and would reach number 50 on the Billboard Hot 100. A few months later, February 2011, while the second season of Big Time Rush was being shown on Nick, the band would release their third single, Boyfriend, featuring Snoop Dogg. It would peak at number 72 on the Billboard Hot 100 and would go on to be certified gold, making it their biggest song at the time. So far, so good. These two are looking promising. Then in August of 2011, the first soundtrack for Victorious would be released. Debuted at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 200, 40,000 units sold in the first week. So they're getting organized. Focus on Big Time Rush, then go back to Victorious, then back to Big Time Rush. November 2011, BTR's second studio album, Elevate, would be released. Again, while the second season of the show was still being aired on Nick. It would debut at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 200, which is lower than the previous, but it would actually sell more copies in the first week with over 70,000. But one key thing was happening during all of this. Ariana Grande. She was the co-star on the show Victoria.
Can we all agree at least that we never saw Ariana Grande being the fucking girl that she is today? Can we all at least agree that when we were young, we never saw Ariana Grande becoming a massive pop star? You all did not know. Shut the hell up. You didn't know. She was not your queen from the beginning. You did not see that coming. You didn't see that. Okay? I always thought, in my opinion, who was going to be the biggest pop star out of this entire group? I thought it was Robbie.
And her musical talents were being completely ignored, but I'll get to that in a minute. March of 2012, Big Time Movie would be released and it would premiere on Nickelodeon to 13.1 million viewers. 4 days before this, the Big Time Movie soundtrack would be released, consisting of 6 covers of some of the most famous Beatles songs. The soundtrack would peak at number 44 on the Billboard Hot 200, but in my opinion, this is a huge miss. Disney did a similar promo for the Jonas Brothers to 10 million viewers and got a gold album from it. I don't know what happened, but 13 million viewers and you have an album flop? I think Nickelodeon missed there big time. The second soundtrack,
Rush.
Victorious 2.0, more music from the hit TV show, would be released in June of 2012. The album would reach number 18 on the Billboard Hot 200, number 1 on Billboard Kid Albums, and number 2 on the Billboard Soundtrack charts, which is great. Season 3 for Victorious and Big Time Rush are happening, but the end of these shows is near. And really the end of Nickelodeon and Disney Channel peak relevance is...
I wish upon a fish that we can watch Nickelodeon one day on stream together as a family, just to see what it's like today. What is Nickelodeon like in 2022? What is my childhood doing at the age of 20 years later? I know it's bad, and I know it's a floppy fish, but I want to know what it's like. And I really want to know. I wish we can watch Nickelodeon one time. I wish we could just watch it one day, just to have despair spam and cringe and this. Is there a way for us to see what's playing on Nickelodeon right now? Because last I checked, it's all SpongeBob. And I do remember that. I remember SpongeBob was playing and it was the shitty seasons. It was not the good ones. Is there like a TV guide? Can someone send one of those in my P.O. box?
is also near. The next soundtrack for Victorious and next album for Big Time Rush still did very well, but they were the lowest performing projects for both of these acts. Nickelodeon was hyper-focused on making Big Time Rush and Victoria Justice superstars. They were always playing catch-up to the Disney Channel. From 2010 to the beginning of 2012, they had a Disney-like pop star factory working. A little bit. I mean, they weren't going platinum. But for Nick's standards, they were doing better than they had ever done. While they were focused on this, they let the biggest talent of them all slip right past them. Ariana Grande was a co-star of Victorious. She had very little involvement on the Victorious soundtracks despite being the obvious better performer. Her talents were kind of ignored. So much so that she went to posting her covers on YouTube. Covers of Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, like songs that are borderline impossible to perform. The covers were so good and were getting so much traction that she got signed to Republic Records. So her day job was on Victorious, and Nick was so focused on their big acts, Ariana got sidelined and swooped up by a major label. But it almost seemed inevitable that Victoria Justice and Big Time Rush would go on to have a very successful music career. But shortly after the show ended, BTR's hype was replaced by One Direction, and they
oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, it was. It was completely void. Yup. It was. Big Time Rush got slaughtered by One Direction. I forgot, dude. One Direction had every 15-year-old girl screaming. And now I know what you're thinking. Mizkif. You can't say that. Whoops. Dude, every girl in my high school was obsessed with Big Time Rush. Every single one. And it pissed me off. Because they were all obsessed. Like, Justin Bieber phase happened, and that was fucking annoying, right? All my friends who were skaters were trying to go for the Justin Bieber hair. Literally all of them. And they were the ones that were getting the kisses behind the locker, right? My hair was not good, so I didn't know what to do with it. So I just shaved my head. But, yeah, they all did that hairstyle. And that phase finally was ending, and then One Direction came out and just took them again. Like, dude, they were so obsessed. Every girl's backpack had One Direction on it, and it was so fucking annoying. But now people have OTK backpacks, huh?
Took a hiatus. After Victorious ended, Justice signed to Columbia and released a single called Gold. It was a commercial failure, and she would depart from Columbia shortly after due to creative differences. So after both Nick's biggest acts flop and quit music, 3 months later, Ariana released her debut album, Yours Truly. It went #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, sold 138,000 copies first week, and went platinum within the first year. Nickelodeon had to be looking at that like, they came out with a terrible attempt to recreate High School Musical with the show How to Rock. That was canceled after 1 season. They attempted a Wizards of Waverly Place knockoff, but
Dude, I saw this. It was so bad.
the relevance of both of these networks really died down after 2014. They had some minor success here and there, but social media, YouTube, Vine, and now TikTok are just absolutely dominating kids' attention. I don't know if
True.
they'll ever come back. Ariana Grande slipped by Nickelodeon and became one of the biggest artists today.
You know how subscribers are like a thing where you can like see it from like World of Warcraft, from like Wrath of the Lich King all the way down? I wonder if you could see viewer retention rate, well, not viewer retention rate, but viewership from like the peak of Nickelodeon all the way down to now. Like, it's gotta be fucking at like lows or something. Let's go for a bathroom break, everybody, while we're here. So, like I was saying, it's gotta be, I had a dream. There's gotta be something. There's got to be something. Chompy's sleeping, yeah. I said, what did you do to Chompy? Why is my seat wet? Does anyone want to share their homework today?
You could argue she is the biggest musically out of both networks.
Oh,
She has the
easily.
most followers on Instagram, is the 4th most streamed artist in the world,
Oh, yeah.
the most streamed female artist in the world, and has sold over 70 million records. I think the simple reason why Nick missed out and Disney didn't is just that their talent scouting wasn't as good. And they didn't do a great job marketing either. Because Nickelodeon had more average viewers than the Disney Channel for 19 years straight. They could have done
18
better
years.
cross-promo, talked about singles or albums in the show, run commercials promoting the music, premiering music videos on the network, just really taking that promo to the next level. Another reason why they weren't as successful was because they were always playing catch-up to the Disney Channel. They were trying to recreate and redo what the Disney Channel was doing, but a year or two later, after nobody really cared about it anymore.
Who's Bad Bunny? I really got to get outside more.
Instead of trying to build their own future, it was all about keeping up with the times. And while they
Spanish.
were so busy trying to keep up with the times, their biggest stars just slipped right past them. Ultimately, Nickelodeon is 40 years younger than Disney, so they had a lot less time to figure this out. And I don't think they'll ever have another opportunity to create pop stars like this. I guess if we want good entertainment, all we have left is little old Patrick CC. Make sure you're subscribed.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I wish television was a big thing. I wish that today that we had television like we used to. Because TikTok ruined the world. It really did. It ruined attention spans and it ruined the world. It just fucking did. It's so sad. It's so sad.